Guys and dolls, good morning. It's Freedom Dad. We have a beautiful start to the day. I think it's about 6:15, half 6 latest. And the day always starts early with Freedom Dad, I can assure yous. But I'm going to bring some stuff to you today, and I want you to pay close attention to, because it's okay for me jumping about telling everybody be careful what's coming, you know, what I've seen is horrifying, you know, please guys listen to what I'm saying. Things have went pear-shaped in England and Scotland, and it's not getting any better. And it's no point me telling you all that without bringing some proof. So I've got 500 videos, so I've got loads and loads I can go through to bring back up, you know. Videos that have only had 300 views. And, you know, they're going to get a bit more views now, aren't they? So I'm just going to just give it an wee minute and say hello. Because of the algorithms, got to be careful with YouTube and all that, you know what I mean? The first couple of minutes are important. They always look out for stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, and my content is always controversial because of what I deal with and what I research and what I look at as a citizen journalist to bring to my citizens, because your government isn't doing it and neither are your newspapers. So, like I say, we have a huge problem with Pakistani Muslim grooming gangs. There's no two ways about it. And because of they get away with it now, we've probably got shitloads of other nationalities, to be honest with you, that don't give two toots for our children or our women, you know. And there's stats, or there's crime stats I'm going to bring as well. I'll try and stick them in at the end. You'll need to, if you're on your phone, you'll need to pause it and blow it up to see it properly. But what I want to start with is talking about the extremism of Islam. But I'm going to let somebody else tell you what's going wrong, rather than listening to a young Christian man from Northern Ireland. Let's hear from the horse's mouth.
There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
Don't be going anywhere. There's more.
In the studio. And to be honest, I was going to ask you about foreign affairs, and then we've just had a little chat in the break. And you've been talking about Britain's extremism problem. You're somebody who speaks out against anti-Semitism. You speak out in favour of moderate Islam as opposed to extremist Islam. What's your analysis of the state of affairs in Britain? Because we've got the Labour government right now considering defining Islamophobia in a way that some say might open the back door to blasphemy laws.
I think you have more, well, thank you for having me, and I think you have more extremists in UK than you have in the Middle East.
Really?
At this stage, absolutely. The things that some of the Islamists say in various mosques, and we have been seeing that online, the terminology they use, the analysis they make, the statements they actually make, they would not be able to say it all the way in Afghanistan, for example, or in Iraq.
So how has this been allowed to flourish in the UK? What's your analysis of
in the name of democracy? So the Muslim Brotherhood, who are the Islamists, who are the main ones, are ruling and controlling in various press when it comes to the Muslim society and community in the UK. They control the whole narrative, and the Muslim Brotherhood and the Islamists are the radical Islamists. They're the Islamists, and they use the freedom of speech in a manner where they will be anti-Semite in the name of freedom of speech. I absolutely stand against that, because I think anti-Semitism is not an opinion, it's a crime, and a crime against humanity. And once you allow that, on the 7th of October, for example, when it happened, the genocide against the Israelis, what I saw and what we witnessed is the fact that some Islamists all the way from here in Small Heath, in Al Amrak, in Birmingham, and other areas, we saw their voices. It was pro-Hamas.
Yes.
And Hamas, as a force which carried that genocide in Gaza and also in Israel, it's actually the armed forces of the Muslim Brotherhood. Muslim Brotherhood in my country, for example, UAE, where Muslim, where Arab, is banned, but however is not banned in the United Kingdom.
So it should be banned?
Absolutely, because they use the freedom of speech to censor your right to speak against them.
Did you hear that news reporter? Really? What planet have you been on? Are you a journalist or what? You know what I mean? She's like, really? We've got more extremists in the UK than anywhere else? Really? Fucking hell, this is the journalist. This is, this is who's bringing you the news. These are the people we rely on to tell us what's going on in our country. And she's like, really? 1,400 children groomed in one city. Really? 50 grooming gangs up and down this fucking breadth of Britain. Really? Come on. You know what I mean? But, I'm not going to go on and go on. I'm going to do an hour live tonight, guys, or a live this afternoon or this evening, whenever I get a chance. So I've got some stuff on the day. Can't talk about. But I will definitely come to a live tonight, and I'll make sure everything's done right. I don't know if it was a young boy, the young lads these days with their computers, I think he's got about 3 computers running up the stairs, my mate's boy, so that could have been something to do with a live yesterday. But I'm going to finish this video, and I've spoke to you about Dino being Dinobane on my live yesterday, and it's really important to get on to this guy because he's a really good YouTube content creator. So I'm going to leave this bit with yous. In fact, no, I need to say a wee bit after it just to finish the video off, so well. But let's see what Dino being put up. Let's see what he's got to say about it.
I want to see more of it as we go forward. I'm really pleased there are Muslim candidates coming through as parliamentary candidates. Really, really good. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much.
There's been a lot of talk about that recently, hasn't there? About Muslims coming through the ranks and taking control of UK institutions and the leadership.
We will only truly get real power if we just have more Pakistanis sitting in council chambers and parliaments, but actually having more Pakistanis and South Asians sitting in the corridors of power making the decisions. And that's where I'll end tonight, is to say the change is coming.
Keir Starmer's obviously on board with it.
So, does that concern you? That's Scotland. That's the Labour leader of Scotland. So here we have a situation, let's look at this logically, right? Here we have a situation with the highest crime figures ever in our whole country by foreigners on sexual offences on children and women. We know now Pakistani men were predominantly responsible for all the rape and grooming attacks in England. Right, pass them about from city to city, absolutely horrific. I mean horrific. I still can't, honestly, ask me when you see me and I'll tell you what they done to these girls. Most horrific thing I have ever heard in my life, and I've been around some dangerous men in my days. I've met some proper psychopaths in all the jails I've been in. Barlinnie, Shotts, Dartmoor, Winchester, Winston Green, The Maze, Crumlin Road. I could go on and on and on, and I've never met any men that are this brutal. Please believe me. Please believe me, never met any man as brutal as these men. And look what Scotland's doing. They're wanting them to run their country. Yeah, I think the union's finished, guys. What do you think? I think it's time to look after ourselves, Northern Ireland and Ireland. It's time to shut our borders. I'm Freedom Dad. God bless.